Welcome to the Conversations with Cousins podcast. I am Jail the Dab King.
And I'm Tyler.
I'm T Butter.
I'm Brooke.
And I'm Jordan.
Guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a new podcast. If you're new here, make sure to stop what you're doing, hit that subscribe button, or at least consider it. It helps us so much.
Yeah, at least think about it.
I mean, we do post once weekly. Typically, we post Wednesdays around 8:30.
Right. This week, guys, we're starting a new series. I'm pretty pumped about it, actually. We're going to go into some unsolved mysteries. It's going to be a 4 to 5 week series.
Yes, and we're also very excited to have our first official guest on the podcast, or at least the non-live version of the podcast, that is, the version that you've seen here on YouTube.
Very true. Very true. We're pumped.
United States Marine veteran and my best friend, friends of us all.
We also want to say thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Yes,
appreciate it.
Of course.
Yep. If you guys are out there and you're watching this, drop in the comments. Give thanks to Jordan. If you appreciate what he does.
Actually, just got back, but
Yeah, but not from that was
no.
But yeah,
Well, into town.
yeah.
Just got
returned
back
from
on,
abroad.
Well,
Just got back on foreign soil. I mean, got
Back on
from,
foreign soil.
Got back from foreign soil.
foreign. It's all foreign at this point. Yeah.
But yeah,
Thomas feels changed so much.
right? It changes every day.
Right.
It seems.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, most of the time it's for the worse.
Yeah, that's true. Joshua,
Yes.
why don't we let them know what we're going to be doing, what we're going to be talking about today?
Well, we allowed, as I said before, we're starting the series, so I think we allowed Jordan to pick a topic, the first unsolved mystery, and his choice is dun da da da.
Jeffrey Epstein, did he kill himself or not?
Oh, he definitely did not kill himself.
I
I
don't.
don't think so.
In my opinion, I don't think he did either.
We'll ask Bobby. He was there.
Oh, Bobby
Bobby Murda?
Schmurder.
I really know my rap artists.
Yeah.
Is that who that is?
Yes,
He is a
but
rap artist?
Bobby Schmurder is.
Okay,
Well,
cool.
and he is.
Not more.
Well, he's not right now. He's been in prison for the last 6 years.
Free Bobby. My dad's also in
Times-
prison. Also,
times
his name's
two.
Bobby. Hashtag free Bobby.
Free both Bobbies. Free all the damn Bobbies.
Let my Bobbies go.
All right. So Epstein.
What are your thoughts on it, Jordan? What do you think happened personally?
Yeah, I mean, it's all speculation, but obviously I think he didn't kill himself.
Right.
There's
so many things that went on that weren't supposed to happen. Like, he was supposed to be on suicide watch.
Right.
They were supposed to check on him every 30 minutes.
Yep.
That didn't happen.
It just didn't happen that. 30
The
minutes.
cameras, there was also cameras in his room,
just
which
didn't
also happened when they requested him. They also happened to not work that night.
Well, now I am gonna say we can attest to cameras malfunctioning.
Yeah, but when the
I'm just
state's
saying.
paying, if the state was paying for my cameras, they'd work.
In
We'd
our
have the
defense,
best.
though, every time our camera has stopped working, it's been our fault.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that is true too. My view on it is, I think it was all part of to get rid of him. I don't think he committed suicide.
Yeah.
There was too many things that just happened to go wrong that night for him to be able to commit suicide. I don't know. And I
Right.
think he also knew too many people to
Yeah,
think
look
that
who
he was going
tied
to stay there.
Tied to the daggone Clintons.
But I just think he
That's
knew too many
dangerous.
people to feel like he was that close to being I think he would have had more, I don't know. I think he would have been more cocky about it and not been like, oh yeah, they've got me.
I mean, who hears the name Clinton and can still trust that name in this day and age?
I'm not one of those people. But that's a lot of high-level folks.
Yeah. So, I agree.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on the Clintons. I don't want to end up suicided.
Well,
I don't think you got to
Yeah.
worry, Trevor.
usually where
They're
there's-
worried about us.
They're coming for us.
right?
If he didn't kill himself, though, how do y'all think whoever did kill him or whatever, what do you think happened? Like, do you think they just talked to the guards and had, like, one of the guards do it? Or...
I personally think that these people in power have fixers who handle this type of situation, who know how to go about that, who to pay off to get
Right.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Donovan, if you've ever seen that show, I believe that type of person is real. When you talk about in Hollywood, high level attorneys and shit for actors where money isn't an option,
Right.
you're paying somebody to shut people up if you get caught doing something you're not supposed to. I think that happens.
Yeah, he was definitely a loose end. I mean,
Right.
awaiting trial finally. I mean, he went to prison in, I think it was 2008 or 2009, and it was a very loose stay at prison. He was still able to go to work, probably still arranged his meetings with,
Right.
not of age
Yeah.
ladies, girls.
That whole situation is wild to me as well. There's a lot of stuff that went on that people don't know about.
Right. And those girls, to me, they had the chance to get out when they could, but they chose not to. I'm not saying what he was doing was right. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, children, they're very impressionable. I mean, you approach a child, and then you offer them $200, and then
Right.
you can
Yeah.
keep making money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that was a very poor area. And
West Florida.
Yeah.
Palm Beach, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's across the bridge from West Florida.
Yeah. But still the same area.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, had some pretty sick stuff. He's driving around a high school.
Yeah. I just think it was messed up that they were on like a reward system. I mean, he would give them $200 for bringing another female.
It's
Over.
a referral system.
Yeah, it was a
that's
referral
crazy.
system. It was a pyramid scheme.
This one girl said
For sexual
that
abuse.
That's-
she recruited 75 girls.
I
Like,
want to
age,
know
like,
how that
14.
conversation starts, personally.
Right.
Actually, I really don't want to know how that conversation
Yeah, I don't either.
starts. I'm good.
Well, they had some of those
Massage
girls
this
in the
man for me
documentary.
For $200 naked. Like,
Yeah.
well, pretty much naked, I guess.
Right.
You want to go hang out with me and my friend Jeffrey?
He'll pay you $200.
He's got a freaking mansion. He gives us $200 every time we go.
Jeffrey or Jeffy?
Oh, God.
But
Very, very, very funny.
But see, also they said that he had a lot of cameras
Yeah.
in his house.
Yeah, like
mhm.
So
see
you can
every
only
room,
imagine
right?
what those cameras have on them, you know, the footage, the things that they have seen. And that wraps back around to like the Clinton thing, though.
Right.
They were saying that there was just they were worried that he would, you know, bring some stuff up, and he has a bunch of blackmail with a bunch of people, though, not just them, obviously.
Yeah, that's a whole conspiracy that he was actually working for the CIA, and they were using him to compromise scientists, public figures, to be able to use them.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the conspiracy of CIA or some other organization, but that's a pretty crazy conspiracy, but believable, which
Mhm.
most conspiracies are.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
If they're a good one, they're believable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They are, but the government is so good about discrediting
Oh yeah.
witnesses and making
Yep.
these whistleblowers seem like
Like they're
are
crazy.
Like Edward
If-
Snowden.
Yeah.
If they live.
Mhm.
Now,
They are very good.
oh yeah,
Even covering up Area 51.
Mhm. We'll get into that one of the weeks coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Little
I'm excited.
little
Getting ahead of myself.
Yeah. but so I couldn't really find any true like evidence. Like, where did he start? Like, where did he come from?
Well, he started out as a school teacher, and
Oh,
then somehow
nice.
he he wound up. So he has no degrees. He has no financial background. But then he wound up working for I think it was a um, a firm. I can't even remember. Not a brokerage, but he worked for some financial institution, and he worked his way up there. It was Bear Stearns.
Right.
That's a big firm up in New York, and he started working for them, and he was managing all these very wealthy figures. He was managing their money, and that wraps around into his New York house. He was just gifted this multi-million-dollar house, and that's where they say all those cameras. They found all those cameras, recording devices in every single room, and that's where the conspiracy comes, that he was compromising people. And
And he was saying that he only accepts billionaire clients.
oh, really? I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
I did see that.
Well,
Must be nice.
Well, another crazy thing is too, he has a foundation which is still live. You can still visit it. It's jeffreyepstein.org, and it's kind of creepy because it's like, now that we know what he was doing, which it's been in the limelight for the past 20 years, people, other press members, they were silenced. Their stories were
Right.
silenced. All those girls were silenced. I mean, one of the big reasons why they didn't really have anything substantial other than witnesses was because he wiped out all the information in his Florida home. Took out all the drives, all the computers, anything that could really
Tie him to anything.
Yeah.
I did
Right before
hear he was tipped
Phys-
off. Yeah.
yeah.
right before they served the search warrant for his house, yeah, there was like nothing there except for like one of the housekeepers.
Mm-hmm.
Did that
That's just
person ever
crazy.
get caught for tipping him off?
Probably
They
not.
had
question.
to do a little bit of investigation there, right?
No.
You would think.
Not back then. You could probably figure out now, but by now leads have went cold.
Yeah, I'm saying that you would think they would have investigated pretty
Right.
hard when it
Yeah.
happened. Not now, but
Right. Like right when it happened.
right.
It just
that's a
depends
pretty-
on
That's
who-
a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
At that point, it starts to wonder who was the leak. I mean, was that like a supervisor who could have stopped the investigation?
I mean, he probably had people on
That's
his
what I'm saying.
payroll.
Yeah. But
Some mafia type stuff.
So he really just came out of nowhere and just started.
Yeah, that documentary on Netflix is pretty good. I'm not sure how much of it's true, but it's just a Netflix documentary.
Yeah.
Certain people have a way; they're just born with a certain ability to con people,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
to making them believe they can turn into anybody.
Yeah.
They're just good at lying, tricking.
He went from a school teacher to having a net worth of, what was it, like 560 million, own island, an estate in the Midwest, an estate in New York, a estate in Paris.
He's doing all right for himself.
Yeah, private jets.
Mm.
I mean, that's
That's crazy.
a lot of money. A lot of.
I
mean,
just
yeah.
wonder
I
what
mean-
his. Go ahead.
Oh, you go ahead. You're good.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I wonder what his reach was, because I mean, you hear about all these girls that are coming forth now. I wonder about all the ones that won't come forth.
Oh yeah, they
Oh.
say it's a network. Like they uncovered hundreds of girls, but I mean that could
Yeah.
span to thousands of
I mean,
girls.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I wonder
It
how
went
many.
home for a long time.
We'll never
Yeah.
know the exact number.
That's just crazy.
There's only two people that know that answer.
Him and then her.
Yeah, so that's another thing. What's going on with this Maxwell girl, Ghislaine Maxwell?
Mm-hmm. His wife.
It's
Or
just kind of
girlfriend.
yeah. It's just like
Girlfriend.
yeah,
Yeah.
his little side piece, con artist. That's what's crazy. That just kind of dropped out of nowhere. They
So I haven't
arrested
actually.
her.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't heard about this
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, they arrested her, I think,
Mhm.
back in June or July, and we've heard nothing.
Yeah.
She released, I want to say she released a bunch of statements, and that was open to the public, and that was circulated.
And then that was it.
Yeah, I haven't really done too much research on her, but you think that would be like headline news,
Right.
every single step of the process.
Well, no, now all you'll see in the headlines are
Is what they
COVID.
want you to see.
Mhm.
Yeah.
COVID this, COVID that. It's just like Facebook even silenced that, like hashtag Save the Children. Like
Yeah.
they even silenced that hashtag. They're like, oh yeah, you can't save that. You can't use that anymore.
That is very creepy.
Yeah. That's the.
I did watch a Mark Zuckerberg was on talking to Congress, and he was getting grilled. You saw it.
Oh
Tyler.
yeah, he was definitely getting grilled.
They asked him like 5 times. So you won't admit to this? I can't remember what they. We can talk about it after.
Was-
So you're saying I'd rather you say this under oath. You're not gonna say this.
What was this about? This was this back during when Trump
This
first.
was about the censorship and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Back in spring, I think it was.
Oh, okay. So this is
Yeah.
recent.
Oh yeah, super recent.
I didn't see that.
He got grilled hard.
Real
They were
hard.
actually just back in court again a couple of weeks ago, if I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken. I can't remember what it was for, but they were back in court again. Facebook was.
So I wonder why would they be censoring hashtag Save the Children?
I don't know.
That's
I personally believe that all these high level figures are in some, I don't know if it's a cult exactly, but they're kind of all on the same page and scratching each other's back. So if one thinks something, then all of them are gonna
yeah.
go with it.
Hey,
Too,
have y'all heard of like Skull and Bones Club? I think it's at Harvard or
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have.
and the Bohemian Grove down in California. That's some really creepy stuff, and to think that could all be tied into this
Yeah.
to Jeffrey Epstein, and because all these big political figures, like they have pictures of Nixon, Ronald Reagan, all kinds of people at Bohemian Grove, and the Bushes, they were a part of the Skull and Bones
Right.
club. So just to think that that's who we're electing in office, and they might be doing this shady stuff, having ties to
Mhm.
Jeffrey Epstein, and allowing him to do this stuff, that's
Oh,
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do your research, people. Do your research.
Yeah. Don't
Make
just
sure you know who you're voting for.
Well,
Really,
not just
really
Yeah, everything. Everybody now just goes straight up face value.
And I don't believe something unless I have multiple. I need multiple sources.
Right.
I'm bad about reading something and just jumping to conclusions, but then I'll usually go back and research some more.
I mean, obviously, it depends on
But-
the type of information we're talking about here.
In today's world, it's like that though, because you have things that they have to grab your attention. They have to be short.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
our
So-
life is so fast paced. Yeah.
Someone will just throw something out there, and then people are just so quick to be like, "Oh, yep,
Right.
that's it," and then not do any research.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's just like
Yeah.
this new bill that they're passing, but I'm not gonna go down that.
Well, go ahead, go down it. I mean, we're not really-
Talking about like the new I can't even pronounce the very first word. It's like Unibun and Corona relief. It's COVID release, not Corona. Oh my goodness.
Right.
It's COVID relief act that they're pushing
Yeah.
through right now. It's got everybody's gonna get like $600. Woo! But there's so much other stuff that's tacked in there. But every
Oh,
news
yeah.
article that you read on Google, like on the very first few pages, is
Right.
nothing but, oh, you're gonna get $600. Woo! Don't read the rest
Right.
of it. Oh, well, we're also gonna extend unemployment and make all this other stuff for small business, and small business is good.
They try to throw
But
abortion funding in
yeah,
with it. It's
they throw
everything they
all
can
this.
do.
Well,
Yeah.
I
That's-
was reading one. I
that's
don't know how.
You gotta give a little.
Yeah.
Get a little. Unfortunately.
But I really want to know what's all in that. Like,
Yeah, but I that is
I'm
how
not-
it works. But during the pandemic, though,
I'm not agreeing with it. No, I'm
Oh,
just saying that's.
yeah,
well, that's the same way they got all that
politics.
funding.
it's
Yeah.
just BS. Like, just give them money, and let it go. Like, if they need it, then let them have it.
Well,
600.
Don't tie in everything else with it. Like,
Yeah.
Well, first of all, y'all have not allowed people to work for 10 months. What is
Yeah.
$600 though?
right?
well, they're trying to
Yeah,
win
true.
people over right now. So if the headlines read, one party's giving $600 away, but the other party's holding it up for no reason, it breeds anger into the other party, into one
There's
party.
more
and-
divisiveness.
Yeah,
Well, that's
That's the
what
media.
they want.
yeah.
They want a divide.
If they're divided, we can't overcome. So,
Yep.
it's just, I don't know. There's so many different things that we turn a blind eye to that we don't even realize on a daily basis.
Right.
Um,
Right.
But that are right in front of our face. We're just going so quick that we don't even realize it and don't even care to even research it or learn about it. But
Very true. I agree with that. You have to be very diligent in your research these days.
And they do want us to be divided because you're weaker that way.
They want us divided and distracted. They want us
Mhm.
distracted with the newest shoes that are coming out, which,
There's literally two national anthems.
right?
It's
There's. They want you to be distracted with PlayStation 5, Xbox,
Oh yeah.
while they pass to get a little bit more power, a little bit more power each time.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're gonna go into another lockdown.
I think it goes further than that too. Like little bitty things that nobody pays attention to. I think that it's thrown in there to just go along with everything else. Like
Yeah.
Josh, when you got 2K20 or the
Right.
2K21,
Right?
right? They were making that right in the heat of all this racial stuff going on in the U.S. And if you go online and you play, you can't be like Team A, Team B, or it's the white team or the black team. And I know that it's supposed to coincide with the color of the jersey, but I think that could have, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's something else that's added into something just to go along with everything else that's going in the world, just for more divisiveness, more of it.
Well,
Right.
there's media sources out there that tell the whole truth, or what they wanna, but like news stations like BBC, or even more unconventional like Al Jazeera. But there's also other social media outlets like there's this one I follow. It's called Hour. It's Operation Underground Railroad, and their whole mission is to save children that have been sexually trafficked, kidnapped, but mainly to it's ran by a group of Navy SEALs, ex-Navy SEALs, and they go on direct action missions and save these kids. They do stings. They help, and they do it all over the world too. It's not just within the U.S. But so that there are organizations out there that are doing the right thing. I think that it's the mainstream that really, if you pay attention to only that, you only watch Fox or you only watch CNN, then you're just falling into what they want you to fall into.
Yep. And if they have the biggest following like that, then that's going to spread the fastest.
Well, it's on us to give those types of organizations the spotlight, because the media is
Yeah.
not going to do it. So
Right.
it's
Oh,
up
yeah.
to the people.
It's just crazy. You can ask a ton of Americans if they knew if this happened or if that happened, and they always basically always say no. They just see what they see on either CNN or what Fox News puts out or whatever news channel that it is, and they believe it.
Right. Yep. Well,
Yep.
Y'all want to get back into the unsolved mystery part of this episode?
Yeah, I was trying to tie us back in with that Operation Underground Railroad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, our viewers are used to us going down.
Yeah, trust me, I've watched every single episode.
Thank you for that, by the way.
Right.
But
Most
so
probably
that's-
most loyal fan, right?
I don't know, but rabbit holes are good. You ever watch Joe Rogan's podcast? And he's so diligent on keeping people on track. Like
True.
literally the latest one with him and Alex Jones. He's literally
Alex
yelling
Jones,
at him.
Alex Jones is a tough one to keep on track, though.
But he knows so much, and
And everybody tries to discredit him too. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying he's got everything right. Just Joe Rogan says it the same way, but
Mhm.
there's a lot that he has got right, and nobody
Yeah.
gives him credit for
Yeah,
that.
you-
They just think he's crazy.
Nobody's right all the time.
Right.
yeah, he's very honest about that he's made mistakes. Like he'll make predictions.
Right.
Like he recently on that podcast, October 27th, I think it was, he said that Trump was going to win, no doubt, and he was mistaken.
Right.
But some things you just can't foresee. But he's done so much. Like he's part of the reason why I know about Bohemian Grove. He put me on that, and so I started researching that, and that is some. Y'all need to look up pictures. Y'all need a Jamie on this show to
True.
Jamie.
search stuff up.
Yeah.
We
Hey,
just don't
Karina.
need anybody, anyone like louder with Crowder. Gosh, that dude's so loud.
Yeah, Louder Crowder. He's cool, but he goes off on childish tangents, which are a little bit too much for me sometimes.
Yeah, it's too much. It's a
Right.
little over the top for me.
I think so too. He has his moments where he can be chilled, and then it's too much.
Right. Yeah.
So
I think-
Epstein.
Yeah.
Was he a good guy?
No.
No.
I'll vote no's.
No.
Say ner.
No. Do I think he deserved to be in prison? Yes. Do I think he deserved to be... Alright. Death wasn't the punishment set for him.
No, he needed. We needed,
needed
the
court.
justice system
Exactly.
to take care of that and bring light to the situation, because there's still so much that we don't know.
Right.
That might be a very small piece to the puzzle.
That-
Sex trafficking, and
Yeah.
it could really
Just
have.
be the tip of the iceberg.
It
I'm
really
sure
could
it
have
is.
made that conspiracy true, which I believe heavily that he was compromising people so they can use them. Just like, so an example with COVID, you have one set of doctors saying this and another set saying that. What if one side is compromised and they're being told by political figures, you're going to say this, or people in high power, you're going to say this, or we're going to release this video of you having
Right.
sex
Right.
with a.
With a minor.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
It's just a shame that there's no telling how many people got away with.
And they're still getting away.
That's one
now.
person. That was one person.
See, when did he die?
It's like August of last year.
In regards to his court date, his day in court. When was it close to the date or something?
Yeah, I think so.
He was in there for like a month.
Yeah. I think it was close to the date because in that documentary, all those girls that were going to testify were, I think they were at the courthouse or in the city where they were going to testify, and
Right.
then they learned that he had committed suicide, and so.
See, that makes it even more suspicious. It's weird.
Yeah.
I might be
it's-
slightly off on that, but I think that's what happened.
Usually where there's smoke, there's fire.
Mm-hmm.
There's way, way, way too many coincidences.
Yeah, and so if they really want to know what happened, I doubt every single camera, which is possible. I'm a network engineer, and things happen all the time in networks where the whole network flaps.
Right.
But it's so coincidental
Right.
that if all of the cameras in the entire facility, because they could track it back and see who was walking the halls and why is he walking there at this time, or why did both of those guys take a break,
Right.
Yeah.
or who are these strange guys dressed in all black?
Yeah. Those MP4s?
I mean, that's pretty
MP5s.
concerning right there.
I don't know why I said 4.
Yeah. Yes.
I fucked that one up.
I saw
again.
somewhere where the guards who were supposed to be watching him too were getting charged with something.
That's all right.
Whatever they called it.
They'll do their little time and then they'll get out millionaires probably,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Set up on a beach somewhere.
or they'll be taken out another loose end.
They'll be
That's,
suicided.
that's probably the most probable.
Yeah.
They done got
It
suicided.
would just be wild. It would just be wild to be on the team that took Epstein out. Honestly.
Then they also said that one of the guards working that night wasn't a usual guard or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear
A
that.
new
That's-
guy
Yeah,
bumped up to maximum security.
right. That's so. Why would you do that? When someone was just taken off suicide watch and everything, why would you put that person
I
there?
thought he was still on suicide watch.
Or was either way? Why would you
Yeah.
put that person there?
What's crazy is he had a cellmate and he was on suicide watch. Was that guy in charge of watching him too? And if they pulled up pictures on Joe Rogan, his podcast, and this guy looks, he's freaking jacked. And it's like, what if this guy is the guy that took him out? Because they also had an autopsy. I think his brother had a personal autopsy done on him. And they said that his injuries matched of blunt force applied to his, I think it was his jaw.
So
I think I know what
Somebody
you're
put
he
their
didn't
foot
hang
on.
his-
Somebody
yeah,
put their
right.
foot on his jaw,
His
basically.
what's
Somebody
that
fucked him
nose?
up.
That bone. It was that bone in his throat. The hyam or how do you say that word?
I have no idea.
Not
There's
gonna,
a-
I ain't gonna
there's
butch
a-
that one. I done
there's-
butched enough.
I saw that. They were saying that something about the way that bone was broken. It was fractured in 2 places and broken on one. He was just that it doesn't coincide with someone who had hanged themselves leaning forward. He said it was more force than that.
Right.
That would take a lot of mental capacity to hang yourself that way, because
Yeah.
it's not like you're hanging from a tree or something like
Right.
that, and really, you have no hope. You have to really talk yourself into stay in this position,
Right.
and kill yourself. And the way he did it, so one thing, he had like a bunch of the orange jumpsuits, and he tied them together, and that's how he hung himself. And
I think
Why
it was
the
on
hell-
Suicide Watch.
do they
My
have?
bad.
Hey,
Do they not have laundry day there or something?
Yeah, I've never been in prison, but do they get like a whole week's worth of
I didn't think
jumpsuits?
so. I thought they got the one on them, and then they got new ones like
So
each
That's
week.
what I
you
would
can
think.
pretty
That's a
much
good
have
question.
a rope but no shoestrings.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
We're gonna
But,
give
like-
you pieces of cloth you can tie together and make braided cord, but
yeah.
no
Even if
shoes.
you didn't have that, I feel like they still have like bed sheets, don't they?
Oh yeah.
Do they?
mean, I think
I don't know.
no, maybe not.
On Suicide
know.
Watch, I don't think
No,
so. They
probably
don't.
not.
I thought in Suicide Watch they threw them in like a padded room. If not, they probably should.
I don't know.
I don't know what type of Suicide Watch that was.
The
I don't think it was
pictures
like a
I saw-
straight jacket.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm picturing more like the whole type of Suicide Watch.
Yeah, and that would be weird that he has a cellmate in there on Suicide Watch. That just doesn't make any sense, because you would think, if he's willing to kill himself, he's probably
He'll
willing to kill other people too.
He'll incite a fight.
But he
just
wasn't
to
gonna
get
kill
killed.
that dude. That dude was jacked.
That's why they put that dude in there. Keep him from inciting.
Wait,
a
put
fight.
that dude in there
so
to fuck
he had
him
a
up.
cellmate when he died?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a heavy sleeper.
What?
Yeah.
what? And yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So
There
they
was somebody
didn't
in there.
like separate them
No,
when
there
he
was
tried
somebody-
to commit suicide the
So
first
hold on
time?
a second. So
But you
so you're telling me that the person that was in the cell with him said that they didn't know what happened?
Well,
Well,
I
you-
don't
you
know
think about-
if he was in there when he committed suicide or.
You think about this for a second.
I got
You're
you.
Jeffrey Epstein's cellmate. You see a group of assassins come in, kill this guy, and hang him. And they tell you, if you say shit, we're coming for you. You probably ain't gonna say too much.
I
Yeah,
didn't
but
say
they would
shit.
probably just
Right.
if they were
I
if they took
mean-
out him, I don't see why. If anybody saw it, I think they'd take them out too.
Yeah.
Two people committed suicide in the New York State Penitentiary. Same
Same
cell. Investigation still ongoing.
He saw his buddy
I
do
mean-
it and thought it was a good idea.
Time to
If
go.
you pay the right people off, also, they could have went in the cell and said, "Hey, take a walk."
I mean, true. But, the cameras didn't work, so nobody knows what
Right.
happened.
Go take a shower.
Mm.
Yeah, that's. I wish we could all see what happened.
Be a fly on the wall.
It's a
I
shame.
just, you know what I'm thinking here? Another conspiracy theory here.
Uh-oh, Trevor's thinking.
I'm thinking, do y'all see the smoke rolling? What if he ain't dead?
I've
thought
thought
about
about
that.
that too.
Well, they
Yeah.
they wheeled his body out, but I mean,
A
Who
body
knows?
bag zipped up.
no, his.
No,
No,
his
it
it
was-
was, open,
you could
but
see him.
still.
I mean, at the same
But-
I've seen
nobody,
enough
But it
nobody
was just-
checked to make sure Hitler was in the body bag either.
Right.
So another interesting fact too is days before all this happened, I think it was days, he signed over all of his money over to his brother. So it's kind of a slap in the face too, because now all these women that that are testifying, they can't even. They won't get anything.
financially from
Nah.
it. Yeah.
He had hung himself from a sheet from his bed.
Well, if you look at the pictures, it's definitely orange jumpsuits. It looks like.
If he gave all his money to his brother, that would make me think that it could have
That would
been
get-
a suicide. Because if you'd be planning for it, and you would know if you left that money there.
To me, it goes more along with what Trevor was saying, that maybe he's not actually dead, and it was him
Aw,
moving his
well,
money.
Yeah, that is true too.
Well,
to-
it's
and him getting
both
away.
both
Right.
points are valid, because
yeah.
when people commit suicide and they want to take care of their family, like Dad has his family,
Yeah.
he goes and talks to his insurance policy, make sure his life insurance
Mhm.
is still good, take care of the
Right.
family. I doubt he cared that much, but I think that if he was committing suicide, the big thing was he didn't want to pay any money to anybody else.
Right.
Yeah.
He also could have been hiding his money.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, put me a little commissary on here, homie.
I'm wondering, how did this dude get caught? He can do anything he wants. How do you get caught?
My question is, he's got all
Because
that money. Oh,
you-
go ahead.
You get too greedy.
Yeah.
get
Yeah,
too
that makes
greedy,
sense.
and you get by with it for so long, and you think, then you start saying, I'm unstoppable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Tiger Woods
And
effect.
especially when you're talking about all the people he was dealing with. Like,
Yeah.
we're talking about very powerful people.
Mhm.
Yeah. And there's no telling, all we have is like a ledger for his private plane, list those names, and then I'm not sure if they are doing anything with all the video and audio evidence that they found in his New York estate.
Right.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Hmm.
Because that's got to have a lot of stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, there's probably plenty of people paying for that to be kept hush hush.
Oh yeah, they don't want nobody to see that.
Mm-hmm.
No, the right people probably done got a hold of that footage and destroyed it.
And then another thing, so the NSA is always watching. Somebody was watching this dude like, wow, that's some fucked up shit, and just
They
didn't
got
say
paid
nothing.
off. That was the whole thing. That they
Well-
paid them. He paid them to keep their mouth shut.
Well,
and they
maybe it
agreed
was
to
the NSA.
That's how I got. Yeah, that's how I got by with it for so long. It was. They knew it for a long time, from what the documentary says at least.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, they had a pretty good case. But just
Also-
not good enough.
Speaking of footage, I also heard that his first suicide attempt, that footage it just disappeared. It got erased or something.
Hmm.
So, like, I don't see the point in that. Like, unless there was, I don't know. That's just.
So,
it
yeah,
doesn't
most
make
of-
sense.
Most of the time in a network too, there's a lot of backup storage, like failover clusters, and it saved one place, but it's also saved other places too. In case something like this happens, your network goes down, you don't lose all of your
There's a
data.
back way to get to it, right?
Yeah,
well,
there's
here's my kind of conspiracy theory idea here.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, there was no first suicide attempt, right? They said that, and then they erased the footage. There was no footage of him doing that period, but they did that just so they could move him into a cell by himself.
Mm.
Right.
Oh,
Mm.
What if they did all that just so he could get away?
right. Oh, man.
But even if he committed suicide, think about this. What if he was getting fed antidepressants and that's what made him suicidal?
Yeah,
Mm.
that could have been.
True.
So many possibilities.
Paid somebody, slip this into his food or something.
Right?
Well, I mean, if they were even giving him his different medications, I mean, he was in his How old was he when he died?
69.
Yeah.
Like, who's
How many
running this
69-year-olds you
investigation?
don't-
I don't know. It was just a guess.
I didn't think he was that old. I
I
thought
don't
he was
think
like
we should
50s,
take a-
early 60s.
I don't think this is your standard 60-year-old. This guy. Yeah, he's not your standard 60-year-old.
Right.
66.
That's the biggest shame is we'll never know the truth.
I wonder,
Yeah.
I wonder how many 66-year-olds don't take more than one medication a day.
I mean,
Um,
there's some healthy motherfuckers out there.
There are.
Wait, what did you just say, Trevor?
There's a lot of 66-year-olds that take more than one pill a day. I mean, they could switch one of his medications with an antidepressant, like Drew was saying.
We're
Very
also,
easy.
yeah, but we're also
Shit
not
ton of
talking about
lithium.
somebody who is. He's probably not. He's not a stupid guy. He probably knows what medicines he takes. If he did.
No, I
If
mean,
he could get away with what he was doing for years, I think he would notice his pills.
yeah,
maybe.
but also, I mean, if he's seeing a doctor at the
prison. They might
prison and they're
change it.
telling him you need this,
Yeah, no, that's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's my point. Like, they might just have prescribed him the antidepressants.
Mhm.
It's definitely not. I can't rule it out.
They're known to give you suicidal thoughts.
Shoot up.
But he was only there for a month.
That's true.
No, he was in jail since 08.
See,
No,
his,
no,
his
no, no.
attorney.
I thought he was arrested.
no. So his sentence was only like a year long, and that he would have authorized business passes to go throughout the day and conduct his business, but he was released a year later and continued doing the same
Gotcha.
thing.
So he had about the same deal. What was his name?
I just found a piece of this
El-
broke.
I might butcher this again. El Chapo.
No, you're talking about
Pablo Escobar.
yeah, Pablo Escobar.
His
Dumb.
defense,
Yeah.
not Pablo Escobar, but back to Epstein. Epstein's defense lawyer said that it was like still super, from what he said, that he didn't look like he was going to commit suicide. He seemed pretty normal, and that he was like really willing and wanting to get in there and fight his case or whatever.
Right.
Which you wouldn't think that somebody who committed suicide would be enthusiastic in doing much of anything like that.
But
Yeah.
most people who are at that state also probably are good at hiding it. A lot of people are.
I'm not saying that you can't. I'm just saying this dude's a billionaire. He has a life when he gets out.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, maybe he thought he was still under the protection of whoever he was working for, if that is true. But it's one thing we'll never know.
Right.
That's true.
And it would be crazy if, none of the conspiracies are true and it's just what it is, face value. That's still
Still a lot of messed
very
up stuff.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Right.
Or years from now, we see a picture of him pop up somewhere,
Right.
and he's still alive.
Right.
Yeah.
Called it.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on that island. That
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
now that his brother owns it, you think his brother didn't know what he was doing? You think his brother wasn't at any of those parties, or
Right.
social
He
gatherings?
definitely was.
Sorry, bro,
Orgies.
you're not invited. Like,
Yeah.
what?
And so I wonder if he was investigated or any of the rest of his family was investigated.
Anybody
Now
that's
that you got
even
the money.
known to know him should be investigated.
Yeah.
Really.
Now
I'm sure
some
they did.
value.
Have y'all seen those tapes back in the late 2000s when he was testifying, or not when he was testifying? I can't remember what it's called. Where the opposing lawyer, oh God, I can't remember what it's called. But they're essentially asking him questions, and just the whole time, I plead the fifth. I
Oh
plead the
yeah,
fifth.
whenever have you ever solicited minors in Paris? And he's like, I plead the fifth. Have you ever solicited minors in the United States? I
Yeah.
plead the fifth.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like just I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
yeah. I mean, I don't want to.
That don't help your case, but
Well, yeah, it don't help your case, but that is a constitutional protected
Right,
right.
yeah. Yep.
The Fifth Amendment, so it is there for a reason, and a good lawyer
Use-
would tell
knows
him
to
to
use it
say,
to your advantage.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Don't say
tell
anything because
you
once
under
it's
oath.
said, you can't take it. If it's recorded, you can't take it back.
mm-hmm.
and especially under oath, they'll hold that against you.
You tell one story and you stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me and Josh were watching a Forensic Files or something, and this dude changes stories 5 times within a 24-hour period.
Right? Yeah.
You're done, dude.
Yeah.
And they literally kept following this guy to like where he would tell them the body was. Oh, we believe him this time. Oh,
I swear it was there.
oh, that's
Oh no, that
right.
was 2 years ago. My bad. Wrong body.
We're supposed to take a left back there. Can we stop by McDonald's real quick, buddy?
I want me a McDouble quarter
This
pounder.
one has 2 bodies, okay? Yeah.
That's just crazy to think of all that this went on.
Well, prison is also just in general a huge problem in our country.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
This isn't the only case like this.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot more, but you won't ever see it in the media. Not unless you go looking for it, but
Yeah. I wonder what happened to those girls that were testifying against him. I wonder if they're still trying to seek justice, or did they just give up? Because at this point, it's like, wow.
Yeah, like
Really,
they're not gonna. They don't have the power to
Yeah.
investigate it. The
Well, they
way
don't
that
have
it needs
the
to be
person.
done.
I'd feel helpless.
the person that
I mean,
they're
they
supposed
are.
to be going after is gone.
Yeah.
So there's really nobody to get justice on.
And
Well, there's
there's
still all his associates.
Well, those, but
Yeah.
which I honestly think are just as guilty as him. I mean,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you're bringing him
Right.
the girls, you're
Right.
almost not more guilty, but you're just as guilty.
Oh yeah. If you
And if
know
you
that's going on and you
participate.
don't try to stop
Right.
it,
Yeah.
you are a fucking piece of
You're
shit.
you are the problem too.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's why I'm glad that there are, good people out there like Operation Underground Railroad. They're doing crazy things, and if they can, just make a small dent in that and take down maybe some big guys,
Right.
Mhm.
maybe it could eventually provide some evidence on Epstein, but that's a long shot.
Right. You gotta get.
Yeah.
It's crazy that there's people like that in this world that prey on like children, basically. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what they are. Is
I
children.
think it goes back to what Josh's saying. They got the power. They can. It goes to their head.
And
Do whatever they want.
It's known like these old white guys that are rich have done everything that they possibly could ever want to money wise. They've got private jets. They've had
Right.
the sexiest women. They get bored too.
Yeah.
Sick. It is sick, but it happens.
It's true. Yeah.
I mean, you think about if you had $20 million since you were 18.
Well, I mean, look at like Dan Bilzerian. He talks about on the Joe Rogan podcast. Also, he talks about how if, like a new Lamborghini, like it doesn't mean anything to him anymore. He's like, I've had tons of them.
Right.
I've had tons of them, and like
They're not even comfortable cars.
right, right. But he's just like he remembers being in high school and like when he got out and in the military and everything, having normal stuff. And then
semi-normal.
well, I know what you're saying, but he's basically saying like if somebody were to get a Ford Mustang, that would be like a 10 for them right now, because
Right.
what they have now is lower than that. But once you're at the top, obviously you don't have anywhere to go after that.
He can't pull up in
And
a
that-
Ford Mustang either.
Right?
Could he fit in a Ford Mustang? That's a big dude.
He's
He
not
ain't
that
that
tight.
big.
He's short actually.
He ain't that big.
Really?
Yeah.
All the pictures you ever see, it makes him look.
I mean,
big.
he's built, but he's not that. He's
Would
not,
you be
like,
taking
crazy.
some pictures that make you look small?
I mean that. Well, I wish.
Wrong person. Wrong person.
Unfortunately, all my pictures I take make me look small. So.
You got a shrinking lens. Shoot. I need me a narrow lens. All we got's wide.
Oh,
Well,
yep.
shoot.
Yep.
It's just. I don't know. It's a crazy world out there. That's for sure. A lot of stuff that we don't see, and we're blinded from being as privileged as we are.
Yeah, it's
Well,
true.
that's why you gotta be prepared. You never know when something's gonna happen like that. I was showing Karina some videos of some kids getting kidnapped, just taken on CCTV,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so scary. But it doesn't just happen to kids; it happens to everybody.
Anybody.
There was literally a sex traffic ring less than 5 miles from here.
Yeah, Haynes
Busted.
Mall, right?
No. At a building we used to own, my family owned.
At
At
A&L,
A&L,
yeah. I've met that dude
and
before.
it's never been in the story. It's never made a headline, nothing. And I'm talking like 10 to 15 girls in there, ranging from age 5 to 13, drugged.
5.
Well,
Yeah, it was messed
this
up.
is where. And he was out that night. He got bailed out that night. How are these people getting bailed out?
They have
How
enough
do,
dirt.
how do you get a bail in that situation?
Right.
There
You have
should be no
dirt.
fucking bail.
Right.
You have dirt on somebody somewhere. But yeah, our justice system has failed at that point. If a pedophile, if somebody who is putting children in that predicament and sex trafficking them out, there should be no bail.
That was how they make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the broken part of it, though. They'd rather make the money than actually do any justice.
Yep.
One broken part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the justice system is extremely corrupt.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Fails us every single day.
And the
Mhm.
thing is, a lot of people trust it too much.
just
Yeah.
like they trust the government.
Right? I've had somebody tell me, and they were honest, I don't think our government has ever lied to us or ever will lie to us. And my question was, what about the times they've admitted they lied to
Right.
us?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my gosh.
It's mind-boggling that people can be that close-minded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, trips me out with this whole $600 stimulus check. People are saying, why is everybody, wanting something for free? Why don't you just go out and work for it for free? I pay,
Nothing's free.
probably $30,000 in taxes every year. How the
Yeah.
fuck is anything free?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally-
They're giving us our money anyway.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's
Really? I
ridiculous. The whole mindset is just flawed. I get where they're coming from. They're born and bred to work for what they have, but you just have a little common sense about it. You pay taxes every year, and you know, come tax return, you might get a very
Yeah.
0.5%, very
Of what
small
you
half.
paid.
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah. It just
Yeah,
kills
yeah.
me that with all of it though, they try and sneak in. They try and sneak in all these extra stuff that they're trying to send money out to, and then the headlines just read, "Oh, well, you get a $600 stimulus check." Well, you do, but you're giving up so much more and contributing so much more to our national debt that our kids are going to be just. I'd hate to see what our national debt's going to be by then,
Yeah.
All right.
if
well,
we even have a national debt.
I think that's gonna about wrap it up for us here.
Again, thank you guys for tuning in. Also, again, if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and be ready for that new video
Dang
next
it.
Wednesday at 8:30.
Dang it! It will be on The Legend of Oak Island.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, so
Come
get
watch
your ears
us.
ready for that.
Learn about a gold hunt, and maybe y'all can find the buried treasure out
It'll
there.
be a good time. Also, drop in the comments, let us know what you guys think happened to Epstein, or if you have a piece of information that we didn't talk about, because I'd like to hear about it personally. Also, I want to give final thanks to Jordan for being the first official guest on the podcast.
Yes, thank you, thank
Thank
you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Jordan.
it much. Hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed having you.
Yeah,
Thanks for
yeah,
bringing
yeah.
your
Thanks,
wisdom.
guys.
Welcome to be
And
on
Brooke.
here anytime. Yep.
All right, guys.
Oh.
Peace.
Sounds good.
Peace out.
That's it.